Hello, folks. My name is Alejandro Perez,
My name is Elias Kaya.
and we're both first years at Georgetown University School of Medicine. And we're here to talk about sleep management and why it's important to have good sleep. So without further ado, I would like to talk through just a brief run through what we're going to talk about today. We're just going to have a brief introduction, then we're going to talk about all the negative side effects of not having proper sleep. And then we're going to talk about the habits and the things you can implement to your life in order to have proper sleep. So I'll just want to get started. Sleep is very closely tied to your overall health. And not only is it just related to your emotional well-being, it's actually very closely linked also to your physical well-being. Sleep deprivation can lead to higher levels of stress. It can lead to frustration. And on top of that, it can add on depression and anxiety. And all these negative emotional side effects can actually then further reduce your sleep quality. So this can lead to a vicious cycle. We don't want that. And all the other things not having proper sleep can affect. It can affect your central nervous system. It can decrease your ability to concentrate and learn new things. It can affect your problem-solving skills, your attention span, and your memory. We don't want that. It can weaken your immune system. We don't want that. We want to stay strong and healthy. It can affect your digestive system and increase your likelihood of unwanted weight gain. We don't want that. It can increase your risk for cardiovascular problems, and it can also alter hormone production, especially in general. It can affect all hormone production, but it can also affect testosterone production in males if you don't get proper sleep, or growth hormone in growing kids, growing teenagers. Needless to say, having proper sleep is vital in maintaining one's health, and altering your sleep balance can have many downstream effects like the ones I just mentioned. And since I mentioned all of this, it's obvious that keeping proper sleep and maintaining proper sleep keeps you healthy, and we want to present some recommendations for improving your sleep and keeping it well. Many of these recommendations also play a role in reducing stress and reducing your emotional unwellness. So by doing these things, you're tackling the problem from different sides. So research has demonstrated that forming good habits is central in keeping good health. So we want to incorporate keeping these good habits into having proper sleep. And Elias is going to share certain good habits that we can have to have good sleep.
All right, guys. So I'm going to start this presentation, or at least my part, by talking about the man's best friend. And I'm not talking about dogs. I'm talking about, nowadays, the cell phone. So researchers have studied sleep for a long time. And although it's not extremely well understood and we haven't fully mastered it yet, what is clear is that your brain, as you're getting to go to bed, releases a chemical. And that chemical is called melatonin. So the way melatonin works, and I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of bottles and advertisements in pharmacies about it, is as you're getting ready to go to bed, it starts increasing. And when you're deep into your sleep, it's at its peak. And then when you wake up and you're ready to wake up, it kind of drops and is low throughout the day. So what's interesting and what scientists have found is that your device, and especially the blue light emitted from it, actually restrains that melatonin secretion. So basically, as you're getting ready to go to bed, instead of it rising smoothly, it can't rise that much. And so it makes it way harder to go to sleep. So therefore, it's important that an hour before your regular sleep, when you get ready to go to bed, it's important to avoid the use of electronic devices. Another thing that's a favorite in our society today is caffeine. So studies have shown that consuming coffee less than 6 hours before bedtime can greatly reduce both sleep quantity and quality. So for people who drink coffee within that 6 hour time frame of, going to bed, it takes them longer to both fall asleep, but also they experience more frequent awakenings. And when you wake up, it's not like it's easier to get back to sleep. It even takes longer to go back and get to deep sleep again. But what's good is that, and we can thank our chemist friends for that, if you can't resist the urge to drink coffee at night, decaf options are excellent. On average, a decaf contains like 20 times less caffeine than your average coffee. Now I'm going to talk about bedtime routines. So getting to bed on command and forcing yourself to sleep is unfortunately a challenging task. And trust me, I wouldn't have gone through so many sleepless nights during college if I could. But fortunately, establishing a routine before going to bed helps a lot. In fact, it works so well that parents implement this method on their toddlers. At least that was my case, because my parents called me a very overactive child. So for toddlers, you know, listening to stories before going to bed helps them put them in transition from being awake to going to bed. Now, if you have the chance of somebody reading a story for you, that's great, but most of the time, this isn't the case for adults. And, you know, what generally is recommended are small things such as taking a shower, wearing pajamas, brushing your teeth, and praying. As seamless and simple as these things seem, getting accustomed to such routine will unconsciously prepare your mind and body to go to bed, making it easier to fall asleep. Now I'm going to touch a little bit on stress. One thing that's very unanimous that everybody knows is that stress can greatly affect your ability to go to bed. And sadly, with COVID-19 and the harsh circumstances everyone's going through, and even in this period, as this video is being recorded with inauguration, everything happening politically and economically around the world, it's hard to not think about things that are happening to you personally and to the people around you. But there are ways you can try alleviating that stress. And believe it or not, you have a big saying in the way you can go about it. So there are many application and electronic ways available that are designed specifically to reduce stress or anxiety. It can be games, physical exercises, medication, music. And you know, a quick search on your phone, on the apps, you know, can give you a list. Oh, I guess the background isn't working, but can give you a list of things and recommendation of applications. Believe it or not, I even found an app that like can hypnotize you into forgetting your stress. I mean, listen, I personally wouldn't recommend it, but you can give it a go if you want to take that leap. All right, guys. So with that being said, this ends our presentation for this segment. We hope you found this video helpful and that it can in any way help improve your sleeping habits. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you.